Hello, my name is Nick Schramek, and I'm here with Howard Chow, and we are the founding partners of a company called Dune Insights. At Dune Insights, we are bringing together a community of early stage tech startups, investors, corporates, and others in the innovation ecosystem. We gather this community together several times a year to take a look at some of the most cutting edge startups out there as a lens into what technologies are coming next. I've been working with tech startups and investors in Silicon Valley for almost a decade, helping them source capital and understand the innovation ecosystem.
I'm Howard Chow, the other co-founder of Dune Insights, and as well an active early stage tech investor. After a career as a corporate lawyer, I started investing in tech companies about a decade ago. And in order to educate myself on my investments, I began inviting some smart friends up to my ranch outside of Silicon Valley in the mountains of Santa Cruz to talk about tech and learn about new startups and startup investment opportunities. And then a couple of years ago, as my business on the event side got bigger, I invited my friend Nick to join me to form a company to continue this work and to build out our network of investors and innovators. So why another podcast? Well, Nick and I speak to some really smart people each day in our search for the best new startups out there. We also speak to some top investors, both from the venture side as well as large corporations who are experts in their domains. And with so many interesting conversations, we just felt that more people would benefit from hearing these conversations. So we're recording these conversations and making them available to the public.
With this new podcast, which we are entitling What's Next In, Howard and I take a look at several key industries that are experiencing monumental changes recently and will most definitely look nothing like they have in the next 10 or 20 years. Our work at Dune Insights and this podcast currently focuses on four main areas. One, the future of food and agriculture. We are in the middle of a revolution right now in the way that we produce, distribute, and eat food, and what we eat as well. People want more of their food, demanding that it not only be nutrient rich, but also safe to eat, readily available, and affordable. Doing this in an increasingly complex world with challenges in supply chains, food safety, and food security, not to mention reducing the impact that food and agriculture have on climate change, will require numerous technological innovations. Luckily, there are brilliant people trying to solve these challenges.
Number two, we focus on the future of mobility. As we all know, the entire model for energy sources and propulsion for transportation is undergoing radical transformation. Not just one, but tens of large companies are facing huge disruption unless they reinvent themselves. This is, of course, primarily driven by concerns about climate change, which has triggered the move towards alternative energy sources, electrification, and new energy storage technologies. Facilitating these changes are new classes of sensors, advances in robotics, pervasive AI, and better communication systems. It's an exciting soup of new technologies and business models.
Number three is the coming world of Web3. Despite the recent crypto winter, we believe that in the medium to long term, blockchain will change technology and how we run our lives in fundamental ways in the same way that the internet did. The movement of top talent and capital into crypto and Web3 ideas continues apace, and traditional financial institutions have not paused their digital asset initiatives. Right now, we tend to think of Web3 and crypto as a sector, but in the future, it will pervade everything. Just like we stop thinking of internet companies as a category, so will we stop thinking of crypto companies as a category.
And our fourth area of focus is the future of legal technology. As a former longtime corporate lawyer, I can attest that the legal services industry has been one of the slowest adopters of technology around, but that is changing. Precisely because so little has been done to modernize the industry means that there is a lot of upside. A substantial number of young lawyers and technologists have jumped on this opportunity to provide more efficient technology solutions to law firms, to companies, and consumers. To me, one of the most exciting developments in the sector is what can be done on the B2C front. Software and AI is now able to provide legal services to consumers in areas where previously no services were available because law firms didn't want to provide services at really low costs. So these four areas are each facing their own challenges, but one thing they have in common is that they are all dominated by big incumbents that have for decades now been able to get by with incremental innovation. While other industries have witnessed technological leaps that have seen winners take a large market share, These four areas are still dominated by companies that have been around for decades, if not for 100 years. So their time in the limelight may be coming to an end if they're not able to innovate and create new paradigms for their business. So we hope you enjoy this wide-ranging podcast series. Listen on.